Hello there, Catherine, and welcome to this, your first ever essay check as part of the Sentence Guide course. Thank you for submitting your work. It looks absolutely great, especially for a first attempt. My name's Andrew. I will be correcting your essays this evening. What I tend to do is read through them with you, essentially, and make any corrections, suggestions, and give advice along the way. Don't worry too much about the frequency with which I can make grammatical corrections. What we want you to do really is listen to these videos as many times as you need to get a sense of how to create really great writing. And once we've finished all of the corrections, we'll certainly have that down. So let's jump straight in. So, first sentence. It is true that communication has diminished among family members or among members of the family over the last 10 years or over the past 10 years. Technological advancement and the jobs of parents can be considered reasons for this, or are in part responsible for this. This essay will discuss issues using examples from social media and work placement, or places of work, to demonstrate points and support arguments. Good. Firstly, the advent of the internet could be a cause of decreased communication among family members. Good topic. This is due to the fact that nowadays, comma, or this is due to the fact that, comma, nowadays, comma, bookend or not. Yeah, no, you're right. It's good enough, it's fine. Leisure time is unconsciously spent on web search. Browsing the web. And do we want to say that it's wasted, or just that it's being spent, or that it's being spent wisely? Unconsciously, to me, I think maybe the word you're looking for is mindlessly. So leisure time is mindlessly spent on web search, infers that it's a waste of time. This is slightly off the mark. So I would maybe change that to leisure time is mindlessly spent or mindlessly wasted on browsing the internet or browsing the web. For example, a recent study or a recent research study by the Singapore government showed that 28% of every person's 28% of time, 28% of every day is consumed by social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Yeah, so 28% of every person's day, maybe. This is just, there's a few too many words in this phrase. So, 28% of every person's day. Therefore, information technology could affect the valuable time for family bonding. I know what you mean. Family bonding time is valuable, but we should say that maybe, therefore, information technology could detract from family bonding. Detract means to take away from. So we're trying to say that it's negatively affecting, aren't we, family bonding time? Which direction is it affecting it in? It's negatively affecting. So detracting from family bonding time would be a better way to phrase it. So secondly, in meeting financial needs of the family, the working schedules of parents are often the reason, or are often behind, their failure to attend to each other's social needs, or to tend to each other's social needs. This is due to personal time. So let's read this full sentence. This is because the personal time is being integrated into the workplace to aim for the financial stability of the family. So I would say, so you don't need this is because. We can start a sentence just with the explanation. So personal time is being devoted to the workplace with the aim of securing financial stability for the family. For example, studies by Michigan University show that 3 out of 5 working parents have a part-time job as well as their full-time job to meet the high cost of living. Thus, it can be argued that the career of guardians, or the careers of guardians, could directly affect the transmission of information between their children. I'm not quite following that, one sec. Because between their children would be amongst the children. So if information is being transmitted between their children, it would be the brothers and sisters talking to each other. So what we're trying to say So you do agree, yeah. I was going to say we should... So when we raise this idea at the very start, let's save our opinion until the end of this paragraph. So let's say the idea that communication has diminished amongst family members over the last 10 years is growing in society. This discussion has been triggered by technological advancements and the jobs of parents, or the reasons for this involve the technological advancements or the jobs of parents. Or even then, I agree with the statement due to the impact of technological advancements and the demanding jobs of parents. Yeah. So state the topic of the essay and then give your opinion there, so that it just comes across a little bit clearer. Let it occupy its own sentence. And then you've got 2 paragraphs in support. You've followed the acronym well. Good. And then here we need to be saying that it can be argued that the demanding careers of guardians could affect the quality of their parenting, maybe. In conclusion, I strongly agree that communication has been reduced among family members due to engagement with technology, or excessive engagement with technology, and working status. Good. In the future, it is predicted that this pattern will continue further if imbalances of the given issue are unsolved. I would say it is likely, because I feel like this is, if you say it is predicted, you're going to have to tell me who predicted that. But if it's you predicting it, then you can say, in the future, it is likely that this pattern will continue further if imbalances of the given issue are not resolved. If you're saying predicted, you need to tell me who predicted it. If you're predicting it, then use a nicer word. But other than that, for your first essay, that's structured really, really well. Well done for taking note. Good, good. So the number 2, let's have a go. So it is true that the virtue of reading imparts valuable intelligence to children. While the benefits are exemplary, other activities such as playing board games and engaging with sports are necessary for children's development. This essay will discuss issues using examples from the University of Western Australia and Melbourne Children's Hospital to demonstrate points and support arguments. Firstly, also feel free to use the word primarily there if you're giving a main argument, a primary argument. But if it's just chronological, if it's just in order, then firstly and secondly is fine. But firstly, playing board games such as chess or puzzles often enhances analytical and critical thinking of students, or the analytical and critical thinking of students. This is due to the fact that these activities improve decision-making and problem-solving skills that are unachievable by reading books alone. For example, a recent study by the University of Western Australia showed that 6 out of 10 children who played board games regularly were more academically inclined as compared to their counterparts, or when compared to their counterparts. Therefore, it is clear that enjoyable games could enhance children's learning aside from reading activities alone. Secondly, sports such as soccer, tennis, or swimming are undeniably vital exercises for school-aged children. This is because no semicolon there. A semicolon can only separate 2 full sentences, and this is because it is not a full sentence. So this is because benefits such as increased motor coordination, social interaction, and self-esteem are acquired through active participation in physical fitness. What a wonderful sentence. For instance, a study done in Melbourne Children's Hospital claims that 75% of children who partake in sporting activities have higher confidence levels than children with non-active habits, or sedentary lifestyles. If you look up the word sedentary, it means non-moving. Someone who sits around a lot, it lives a sedentary lifestyle. Thus, skills from physical recreation are beneficial. Skills from physical recreation are beneficial to, let's think of a better word. A milestone is just like a checkpoint. It is an important goal, a semi-goal to be reached. So, skills from physical recreation are beneficial to the development of a child in ways which are unattainable through sitting and reading. Just make that flow a little bit better. In conclusion, I believe that other than reading, activities like board games and sports are inevitably a great worth in children's expansion of skills. Inevitably means it is bound to happen. It must happen. It is 100% guaranteed to happen. So it's just not quite... I would say it's a bit too strong a word to use in this context. I would just leave that word out. I would say activities like board games and sports are worth a great deal to the expansion of children's skills. In the future, it is predicted that without these recreations, children will be disorganized and incompetent adults. Yeah, I would soften that a bit as well. It could be possible that in the absence of these activities, without these activities, children could even become disorganized and incompetent adults. Because again, this is quite a strong statement to finish on. These sorts of statements, I would just soften it slightly. So in the future, it could even be possible that without these activities, children will be more disorganized and less competent adults. It makes it a little more polite, you know, because we're talking about people, so we're saying these people who don't exercise are disorganized and incompetent adults. It's a little bit, it sounds even a little bit egotistical, that's all. So if we make it a little bit more polite and say less organized and less competent, yeah, I think that would work slightly better. But thanks very much for the fantastic work for your first essays. What we need you to do now, you superstar, is make a list of all of the major mistakes that you made, because your form is great, your paragraphs are good, you've got no problem sticking to the acronym and knowing what you're saying. Most of the things we spoke through were vocabulary based and clarity and accuracy based. So have a good listen through again. Make an error list. Correct these essays and include them in one email with your error list and the answers to the new questions which are in this email. Once you've got all that in one email, send it over to us and we will have your next essays corrected as soon as possible. Thanks again, Catherine. It was a pleasure, and I'll speak to you again very soon.